розмовляти українською мовою.
I'll be speaking in Ukrainian.
Ну, я дуже вдячний вам за те, що ви зібрали сьогодні здесь.
I'm very grateful that you have come here
Можемо висказати свої пропозиції.
and that we could talk about our propositions.
Я представляю здесь бізнес-асоціацію, Асоціацію виробників озброєння військової техніки України.
I represent the Association of Military Manufacturers in Ukraine.
Тому моє звернення до вас, мабуть, буде дуже відрізнятися від політичних якісь.
So my presentation will probably be a lot different from the political presentations we've had till now.
Я все життя займався бізнесом, тому я не розумію, коли ми така успішна, досить успішна держава, в якої є великий потенціал, приїжджає кудись запитатися, а чи ви не могли б нам дати грошей?
So I've all my life I've worked in business, and so it's very difficult for me to understand how a successful country, representative of a successful country, can go to foreign lands and say, well, give us some money.
Я приїхав сюди не спитатись, де мені взяти гроші. Я приїхав сюди для того, щоб запропонувати вам гроші.
Okay, I have come here not to ask for money, but I've come here to propose to give money to you.
Давайте теперь немножко перейдем в сам процесс.
Let's talk about the process.
Суть маржи на любой товар, который выпускает какой-либо производитель, состоит в максимальном удовлетворении потребности того человека, кто хочет его купить.
The margin of profit for a given product can be only as large as the person who is willing to buy that product.
Чем лучше вы преподнесете этот товар, и чем удобнее он будет для покупателя, чем лучше он будет выполнять, отвечать всем его требованиям, тем выше любой покупатель будет готов заплатить большую цену за это.
So if the product is, if it's of a good quality, but also if it's of high demand, the buyer will be willing to pay a premium price for this.
Я думаю, что ни для кого не есть секретом, что основным врагом развития демократии во всем мире является Российская
I
Федерация.
think this is not a secret for anybody here that the main enemy of democracy, world democracy, is the Russian Federation.
И это не только наш враг.
And he's
Это
not only
еще
our
и ваш
enemy,
враг.
but he's also
Это
your
враг всей
enemy.
Европы.
And he's the enemy of all of Europe.
Сегодня они перешли нашу границу, завтра они будут посягать на европейскую.
They've come across our borders today, and tomorrow they're going to be going across your borders.
Но при этом Украина единственная страна, которая имеет с Россией прямой конфликт.
But Ukraine is the only country that is in direct conflict with Russia right now.
Мы каждый день видим перед собой российские танки, российские бронетранспортеры. Мы знаем, какими самолетами они работают. Мы знаем все частоты, на которых они работают.
So we every day we're fighting against Russian tanks, Russian aviation. We see this technology every day. We know everything about it. We even know what frequencies they operate on.
Кто в Штатах знает, какую динамическую броню применяют на российских танках Т-90?
Does anybody know about the dynamic defense that the T-90 uses here in the United States?
Никто. Это знаем только мы.
We know this.
Кто знает, на каких частотах работают российские орланы?
Who knows on what frequencies the Russian Orlan drones operate on?
Это знаем мы.
We know this.
Как можно создавать системы противодействия в закрытых условиях, если вы не знаете, против чего вы должны воевать?
How can you develop countermeasures if you don't know what you're fighting against?
К вам приезжают наши политики для того, чтобы попросить денег.
Our politicians come here to ask for money.
А мы приезжаем для вас, для того, чтобы предложить их заработать. Мы можем вместе с вами создавать дешевое и максимально эффективное оружие.
So we're coming here so that we can jointly make money, so we can provide effective weapons at a very good price.
Давайте теперь подумаем о том, что может дать вам и нам совместное производство.
So let's talk about what joint manufacture can give us and you.
Во-первых, Украина не является конкурентом для производителей вооружения, которые работают в Соединенных Штатах.
So Ukraine is not in competition to the weapon systems that the United States produces.
Потому что школы развития вооружения у вас и у нас совершенно разные. Разные так же, как и рынки сбыта. Наши рынки сбыта ориентированы на бывшую советскую технику, ваши рынки сбыта на высокотехнологичные покупатели.
Our schools of development are different. Your school is oriented toward high technology weaponry. Our school is oriented to Soviet technology.
Поэтому, вкладывая деньги в украинские предприятия, вы получаете новые рынки сбыта и новые производства, которые не влияют на вашу экономику.
So by investing into the Ukrainian military market, you'll have access to markets which you don't have access to, markets which use Soviet technology.
Второй аспект.
And the second aspect,
Мы очень благодарны Соединенным Штатам за те санкции, которые они вводят в отношении России.
we're very grateful for the sanctions that the United States has put against Russia.
При этом подрывать экономику враждующей с вами страны можно совсем другими способами, гораздо более простыми.
But you can undermine the economy of this country using a different method.
Статистически,
Statistically,
за последние 2 года
in the last 2 years,
экспорт военной техники в Российской Федерации по отношению к общему объему экспорта составляет почти 5%.
the export of military technology by the Russian Federation is about 5% of their GDP.
Общая сумма экспорта составляет $15 миллиардов.
So that's about $15 billion.
А теперь представьте, кто может составить конкуренцию российской производственной машине, которая выпускает военную технику.
Who can compete against the Russian military complex in their production of Soviet military technology?
Этого фактически не сможет сделать ни одна страна, кроме Украины.
There's only one other country besides Ukraine who could do this.
И вливая деньги в украинское бронетанковую технику, вливая деньги в украинские системы радиоэлектроники, вы вытесняете Россию с ее рынков, и вы развиваете для себя новые рынки с теми технологиями, которых в Америке нет. Потому что эти технологии не настолько высокие, как у вас, но они в то же время намного более дешевые, чем ваши технологии.
And by investing in Ukrainian armor technology, Ukrainian electronic technology, military electronic technology, you are opening up new markets because this technology isn't high tech, it's of a lesser quality, but it is used in the markets of the former Soviet Union.
В ближайшие 2 года мы можем позволить себе зайти на этот рынок на общую сумму порядка 4-5 миллиардов долларов.
We can, in the next 2 years, we could get into this market and have a profit of $4 to $5 billion.
Теперь давайте рассмотрим небольшой политический аспект.
Let's look at some of the political aspects.
Если в Украине нет производства, как вы думаете, куда деваются наши кадры?
If you don't have military production in Ukraine, where will the technicians go? Where will the engineers go?
Наши кадры не поедут в Америку, потому что вы разрабатываете другие технологии.
They're not going to come to the United States because you're developing different technologies.
Наши кадры поедут в Россию и будут создавать оружие против Европы и против Америки.
Our engineers will go to Russia and they'll produce weapons against the United States and Europe.
Поэтому я еще раз хочу обратиться к вам. Я представляю Ассоциацию виробників озброєння та військової техніки.
So I'm turning to you again. I'm representing the Association of Ukrainian Military Manufacturers.
Ассоциация занимается разработкой законодательства, которое адаптировано под европейские и американские стандарты.
The association develops legislation that's adopted under the U.S. and European standards.
В ближайшее время мы изменим эти законы, после этих изменений вы сможете спокойно приезжать на украинскую территорию и заниматься там прозрачным, понятным для себя бизнесом.
So we will change the laws so that you can feel safe coming into Ukraine and developing business.
Когда мы начинали переговоры по совместным проектам, один из очень серьезных экспертов в области вооружения сказал мне о том, что ты немножко улетел в фантазии. Америка вряд ли будет покупать украинское оружие.
When we were having a discussion with one of the manufacturers about joint manufacture of electronic technology, he said to me, you know, you're fantasizing, America's not going to buy your technology.
На сегодня мы имеем два предложения по эксклюзивному представлению интересов нашей продукции на территории Соединенных Штатов.
At the moment, it has changed, and we have two exclusive representations of our technology here in the United States.
В мае месяце я планирую сюда привести 4 инвестиционных проекта.
In the next month, I'm going to be bringing 4 more investment projects to light here.
Как вы рассматриваете сумму 25% годовых для Соединенных Штатов? Это хорошая цифра инвестиций? 25% годовых. 25% годовых прибыли.
What do you think of a profit margin of 25%? Is this a good profit margin for U.S. companies?
Судя по некоторым скептичным улыбкам, это, наверное, выглядит как-то нелепо. При этом уже 15 числа я вам готов представить технологию, разработанную в Украине. Это технология производства патронов. И мы гарантируем, что через 4 года после начала, с учетом строительства этого завода,
So by May 15th, I'll be able to present the technology of manufacturing ammunition, and within a year we'll be able to build that factory.
мы разработали новую украинскую БМП, которая стоит $1,5 миллиона.
We've developed a new Ukrainian armored infantry vehicle, which costs about $1.5 million.
Вчера мы закончили переговоры, по которым компании американские будут поставлять в Африку украинские беспилотные летательные комплексы, потому что по стоимости наши комплексы в 4 раза дешевле американцев.
So yesterday we've concluded a contract with an American company that's going to be supplying Ukrainian drones to Africa, because our Ukrainian drones are 4 times less expensive than American drones.
А теперь представьте, что будет, если соединить ваши системы наведения, вашу электронику с нашим дешевым производством.
Let's say if we unite your technology, aiming technology, electronic technology with our inexpensive production.
Через 1,5-2 года Россия останется только продавать нефть и газ.
In 1.5 years, Russia will only be selling gas and oil.
А потом мы вместе с вами изобретем еще хорошие электрические двигатели, и они перестанут продавать даже нефть.
And if we develop a very good electric motor between the United States and Ukraine, they'll stop they'll stop selling gas and oil too.
Не подумайте, что я прям такой злой, просто я вырос в Севастополе, родился в Крыму, и
Please understand, I'm not being angry, but you have to understand, I was born in Sevastopol, I grew up in Crimea.
И в то время, когда у меня возле дома разгружались российские автоматчики, господин Путин с телевизоров вещал о том, что наших солдат в Крыму нет.
And when right next to my house, Russian airborne were being dropped, I was watching TV, and Putin was saying there are no Russian military in Crimea.
Я хочу, чтобы вы все понимали, с Россией нельзя договориться, Россию можно только победить.
I want you to all understand that you cannot come to an agreement with Russia. The only thing you can do is have victory over Russia.
Поэтому я готов сделать все для того, чтобы мой Крым вернулся, и я хочу домой. У меня там шикарный дом на берегу моря, у меня там состояние $5 миллионов, у меня там хорошие дети, красивая жена и шикарное побережье. Я очень люблю свою родину, и я хочу ее вернуть.
So I want to say I'll do everything that I can to return to my Crimea. I have a house there on the shore. I want my wife and children to grow up there, and I'll do everything for Crimea to be part of Ukraine again.
Спасибо вам за внимание, и я всегда заканчиваю выступление одними и теми словами «Слава Украине».
Thank you for your attention and the presentation of the words "Glory to Ukraine."
Well, I think that a round of applause for all 3 of our presenters is appropriate. Especially Vadim and Anna. I believe the 2 of you should receive the Ronald Reagan Marketplace Award for your presentation. Several years ago, 3 3 years ago, I was invited to Lviv, Ukraine, by one of your members of parliament, Alexei Skripnik. And I was taken to the offices of Elix. And I was given a tour, and I was explained that this was the equivalent of a DARPA facility for the Soviet Union. And not having any idea what that was going to look like, you walked into the front doors, and you might as well have been in Silicon Valley in terms of their offices. But then Alexei took me through part of the building that had not been renovated, and it was truly walking through these heavy plastic shields as if you're walking back into the Soviet Union. It was an amazing sight. But I, for one, having spent my entire career in the American defense industry, have the highest respect for Ukraine military and defense industry. And the talents, whether it be in space, armaments, armor protection, drones, aviation, Antonov, it's world class. And there's no wonder that over 70% of the military industrial complex of the former Soviet state emanated from the great minds of Ukraine. As an effort to pull together this panel, I wanted to note that September 8th, 2016, the United States and Ukraine established the U.S.-Ukraine 5-year partnership concept. And I'm going to share this with Walter to distribute to all of you that have attended. And it lays out very briefly, the U.S.-Ukraine partner concept codifies enduring principles of the defense relationship between our two countries. The partner concept will enhance the effectiveness of U.S. security cooperation, marking the transition of our bilateral relationship from one characterized by crisis response to a more enduring strategic partnership. Cooperative efforts between U.S. DoD and the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense will follow 4 main lines of effort. 1, improve Ukraine's defenses. 2, support Ukrainian defense sector reform and modernization. 3, improve Ukraine's defense requirements and resource management processes. And 4, enhance defense technology cooperation between our two countries. My belief is that this panel is very timely in that while this partnership agreement announced last year is excellent in its spirit, we continue to have 2 major impediments. One of the biggest impediments is not in Ukraine, it's in the United States of America. And as a recovering attorney, I can say this with glory, that I referred to it and did this week to the NATO leadership, the great ITAR retardation factor. And ITAR is the International Trading in Arms Regulation issues, which in the world of dual use, if you look at dual use technologies in the American context, you immediately go to the State Department munitions list, and it is the core bureaucratic stumbling block for American defense firms and technologies to be collaborating with Ukrainian partners. So going back to the title of this forum, Fast Track, my contribution to the discussion is what are elements that can accelerate partnering between U.S. and Ukraine defense and other technology companies, and how can this U.S.-Ukraine strategic partnership commission be given real meat and real effectiveness to advance the collaboration between the various excellent Ukrainian companies and American companies to salute Ronald Reagan's mantra of letting the marketplace drive not only good business, but also, as the ambassador noted, would address issues of corruption, would address issues of collaboration and respect of intellectual property issues. But with that, I'm going to open the floor to questions. Walter, is that how you would like to proceed?
Yes.
And Nicola?
Okay,
Sir?
my question is to Mr. Luke, and this would be kind of tagging on to what John had said. In the field of construction in Ukraine, what needs to be done to encourage U.S. businesses to get into that field? And because we know post-Soviet societies, you know, they're getting rid of all the old Soviet structures, building new structures, and you know, this is a very lucrative field, and you have experience in that. What needs to be done on the Ukrainian side and the U.S. side to encourage that?
Well, this question is, I think, is all to do with from one system, one country system to another. I really appreciate the defense industry in Ukraine because I heard a long time ago, not only today. And that's one of the assets you have. But intrinsically, if you wanted to really improve the whole country, you know, people are happy, then people can make their own life, and you know, everybody feel more freedom. The real reason you need to do, you have to know the sequence, how you plan it. American company I bring to China at that time is one of the things. This is basically is management and service system, because under communist is one party dictates all things. When they do these things, good things if they do things right. The bad thing they do things wrong. Okay. So the question is how you develop your system, and how do you do management? I think our other companies, including in the early time, our architects, engineers, to do with infrastructure. Say, for example, how we can manage the highways, how we're doing the things that Ukraine can design the thing. But the real question is management system, how you collect the toll on highways, how you do these things. This is a capitalism. Ukraine at this time have to learn some of these things, and the reason I really feel is important to know the sequence. If you without doing power, then you don't have in other industry. I'm not talking about the defense industry. You have to generate enough electricity to facilitate the industry. What you're doing with the money which make it more fast, which what they say, well, going to have energy, we get the power purchase agreement. All those things is a tool to get in money and to become an industry yourself. So I think it is very important that Ukraine have to learn those kind of things, and the American firm, and especially the managing firm, can go to Ukraine to help. I think it is very important. It's not just we're going to do one thing. We have to consider the entire country. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what your country will be, you say the weapon system. Weapon system, who's going to use, who's going to buy? I think it's not necessarily the United States will buy. African can buy, the Indian can buy, and other country can buy. So it's not necessarily aimed to the United States. And then you have to have business team think about the whole world economy. How do you get into it? Okay, just not only sell to the United States. Actually you compete with United States technology. It's not 100% right market. Your market is the world because you're cheaper than other than the United States make. Okay, of course that's a compete against the United States also. But the only thing is I would say you need to find the U.S. people who do sales for you. Company do sales for you. You can find some people can go to management, because the communist management is one type. Dictatorship, everything. But if you want to be free, want to use imagination on the business market, not only technology. I think Ukraine, I really respect your mathematics and scientific brains. There's a lot of Russians without Ukraine, they may not build up the military so fast. With the Ukraine's people, I think it's really will feel very good for the scientific mind. You know, not that many countries has the scientific mind as Ukraine. So that's your asset. But how you turn your economy from this one to selling to the world? Because you just give you an example. You know, the Samsung, the cell phone from Korea. You can do this. Korea was not really, but they bring this concentration to develop their own technology and doing market their own things. We don't know how to try to say. You know, Ukraine mines can do other new things. Okay, if you have some kind of technology, you can ask for investment. Okay, even you can sell your investment to, you know, Apple computer, because a lot of people who develop technology and Apple computer we need to buy. You're not going to do just only one vehicle. What you do is, I would say, very important to do is selling piece the technology to United States, which United States need, not to compete with United States. So those are the directions. And secondly, I would say the sequence of events of your development, because that's what I advise China. I don't care about the political system. I care about people. Okay, the important thing is what you do first. Transportation. If you have your goods shipping from your to the seaports, you know, you can transportation is just infrastructure. That's long-term goal, because you don't make money on transportation. Okay, you don't make money from telecommunication at the beginning, but in the future, that's the way you can unite all your country people together, and you can deliver your goods to other countries. If without the things, you cannot do. Okay, those are the things. You have to develop your own energy source. I think the United States has been spending a lot of things in Ukraine for energy this time. But I know you have natural gas or other things. You have to develop your industry. But at the beginning, you got to invest. So a 5-year plan, 10-year plan. Don't look about short term. Make money short term. You want to look long term. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what happens? Okay. So those are the management questions. If you can do that, you grow fast. There's one country in Africa where I was surprised. They don't have natural resources. Uganda. The GDP going up to 6% per year. But if you go to Ghana, Ghana has all the gold, has oil, everything. They're only 5.2%. Yeah, so it's amazing. The people work hard, and then they actually made up the differences. Okay, it's not just you have natural resources, you're maybe great. Not those people in Ghana maybe a little bit lazier than other people. Okay, Nigeria is there another problem. All the money they made in the oil, they all went to London. Okay, even some come to the United States doing real estate. London's buying the real estate in London, and they're actually doing the apartment development in Ghana. But they don't sell. They all got money and they leave the country. So each country have their own culture, their own business environment, and we need to utilize what's the best you have, and then try to pick up the brain of other countries they have. So this is, I think, your people are very lucky. The United States and NATO is behind you. Okay, no other country has that kind of assets. So you utilize that kind of assets, your country can come out, develop a bigger country, rich country very quickly. Just like Germany after war. You know, everything made in Germany is better than other European countries. They're actually the richest country, and in terms of production,